Welcome to my instant Decktech. Welcome to my instant Decktech. Welcome to my instant Decktech.
Welcome back to the Troll Bridge. I'm Frank the Troll, and hopefully I creeped you out with that. And if I didn't creep you out with that, maybe I'll creep you out with this. Oh yes, we all know this face. He's creepy. A lot of creepy cards going on in Magic right now, and so I thought I'd build a card around another creepy guy, and it's actually the Charming Prince. The theme of our deck is gaining life, gaining control with hand destruction, perhaps sweeping the board. It's a black-white Orzhov control deck, and I'm going to walk you through it. Charming Prince comes into play, and we can scry 2 or gain 3 life, or exile another target creature we control and return it back to the battlefield at our end step. The great thing about that is Yarok's Fenlurker. We're going to exile him, and he'll come back into play at our end step, and we'll remove another card from our opponent's hand. We're going to use the Bell Haunt. It's a great 3/4 body with 4 mana. It's going to also discard a card from our opponent's hand and gain us 3 life. Another card in which we use the third ability for Charming Prince is our Meteor Golem, with a 3 copy of, which we'll be accessing with our Karn the Great Creator. When we flicker this one out and it comes back at our end step, we can blow anything else up. That's a really great tool in the deck. So we've met the Fenlurker, in which, we exile cards from our opponent's hand. Let's move on to the Witchclaw Talisman, another creepy card in the deck. This here we can go over the top and look for any of our removal spells like Kaya's Wrath to make sure we control the board. And we're not going to be afraid to blow up our own stuff because we're also getting Reanimator with our Sorin. Okay, so anything 2 we can bring back. Anything 4 we can bring back right away. We do have to obviously get rid of our Sorin if we're going for the -4, but sometimes it's well worth it. D-Spark, excellent card in the deck, gets rid of Questing Beasts. Wicked Wolf, Torbrand, yes, Torbrand. You need to get Torbrand off the field as quickly as possible. D-Spark's the card. We go with a 1 of because, it's only 4 or greater, and we can oftentimes use our Witchclaw Talisman to go find it right away if we need to. Oath of Kaya, perfect for, getting rid of Gilded Goose, a lot of these different things. As she slips on the glove and nails things for 3 damage, we're gaining 3 life also. Lots of life gain in this deck. Rankle, we're pulling more tricks as we're hitting our opponent, causing them to discard a card, oftentimes making them sacrifice a creature. And don't be afraid to throw away your Bell Haunts or your Yaroks. We get them back with Sorin. Doom Foretold. This is a card that I wanted to play around, and this is the shell that I used to do it. During each player's upkeep, that player has to sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. And if they can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life, you draw a card, and you gain 2 life, and you get a 2/2 Knight creature token with vigilance, and then you sack Doom Foretold, which is amazing. We control the board with this card, and you have to be very selective on when you play it and how you play it, because you can obviously hurt yourself with this card, but don't be afraid to throw away these type of things. Kaya's Wrath, obviously we're blowing up the board. Karn the Great Creator. This card here is to access all these wonderful cards in our sideboard. This deck was built for a best of 1, and that's why they're all artifact based. If we wanted to do, say, a best of 3, then we would change up the sideboard to have things like Elder Spell and Noxious Grasp, or, different things like that. Karn the Great Creator is also excellent for turning off that Witchclaw Talisman. So oftentimes what I find myself doing is waiting until I have the 5 mana before I actually sometimes bust off a Witchclaw Talisman, so at least that way they can't use it when they get it, which is a great trick with the deck. Looking at our mana base, it's black and white. We could use another Godless Shrine, but for the most part we want to gain life. So we use the Scoured Barrens and the Interplanetary Beacons. We use Fable Passage to, you know, get the colors we need for our little doubles here. The most part, this deck has no problems with mana base. Let's look at the cards in the sideboard from the Karn. Alright. Wand of Vertebrae. I put this in here simply to get back cards that we might have whittled away from Doom Foretold, such as Othakaya, or Witchclaws, a D-Spark, or, you know, whatever. You know, 5 cards, they go right back into your library. That's cool. Glass Casket, another removal card for us. Sorcerer's Spyglass to get the Planeswalkers and take a peek at someone's hand. We have a lot of multicolored spells in the deck, and so Tomb of the Guild Pack can be used. Oftentimes you don't grab for it, but it could be very useful. Circle of Loyalty is actually very, very good in this deck. If you perhaps see all the legendary spells we have in our deck, we have Othakayas, we have Karn the Great Creators, we have Rankles. What else do we have? I think that's everything, but that's still a lot of cards. There's 9 cards. So when this gets into play and we're casting that, we're getting 2/2 Knights, which is oftentimes really good to bring back our board from what we've done, because oftentimes we're top decking and so are they. So it's a decent card. Bolas the Citadel is perfect for the deck, as we're gaining so much life that we're playing cards and gaining life off of playing those cards, so it's excellent. Godfarer Statue, always a good card, cause our opponent's spells to cost 2 more, and we're always pinging them for a life. And the Meteor Golem is another target, like I was mentioning, for the Charming Prince, which is absolutely amazing in this deck when you do get it off. And the Stonecoil Serpent, you know, you got mana, you need something to do with it, you drop down a big serpent, it's got protection for multicolored, pretty good. And that looks like it's pretty much the deck. So the only last thing is to like and subscribe, and appreciate you coming by and taking a look at the deck. Have a good one.